Hello, hello, hello. The truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. You see, when we look at the truth, everything boils down to a simple story. I think I mentioned it before, but I'll say it again. What is a human being? Without getting too lengthy, it's obvious that in every single psychological, religious, Eastern, you name it, everybody says the same thing. Maybe it has different definitions, but they all say the same thing. We are a mix between intellect and emotions. These are two different categories. And perhaps there's a story that sums it up best, which is that the Rebbe Rashab, who, interestingly enough, it's his birthday tonight, he met with Freud, who is the father of psychology, and I read a lot of his stuff, and he certainly was quite a bright man. And he said, Freud said to him, "What do you do?" So he said, "I teach Hasidus." So he says, "What is Hasidus?" So he said, "It's a wisdom whereby the mind can influence the heart." A very important statement. A wisdom whereby your mind is in charge of your emotions, not the other way around. So Freud said, "Aren't they two continents divided by an ocean?" So the Rebbe Rashab said, "Yes, but the goal is to put a bridge over the ocean, or at least lay electrical wires underneath so there's communication." And he says, and I find the people that study Hasidus are successful. So the real war that has always raged within society, and I recently heard a lecture by Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, who reads about a book a night, and so he was commenting on two secular books, but very powerful historical books, basically, on all of human history, and looking through the trends. So it's very much in line with this as well. But all of human history, basically, it's the war between man himself. Everything outside the wars outside of us is really a manifestation of the war inside of us. And the war inside of us is a manifestation between emotions. Now, emotions basically are categorized in three directions. Like Kabbalah says, there's the right, there's the left, and there's the center. The right side of emotions is naive love. Now, love itself is beautiful and is pure, but it's like a child. Children love everyone. A dog, if it hasn't been abused, loves everyone. Now, it's naive because some people are dangerous and don't love them. If you lend your money to anybody who asks you, you won't have a lot of money very quickly. So being kind of loving, while it may be sweet, but it's also stupid. On the flip side, being sour, which is being bitter, and anytime we feel that somebody has hurt us maliciously, we can't justify, "Oh, I did something wrong, I deserved it." So that creates bitterness. Being bitter, well, it creates a cycle of violence. In fact, Robert Mugabe, somebody was speaking to me about Zimbabwe today. Robert Mugabe, the evil, evil, evil person who, thank God they got rid of him. But one of the things that he would do, because it was officially a democracy, is they would take these children and they would rape them and abuse them, and then they would send them, and they would basically force people to vote for Mugabe's party. So you have to ask a simple question: if somebody's raped and abused, would they become more sensitive to that issue? And the answer is no, because actually what happens is, as long as they're under the panic, because then that's what a bully does. He tries to make you panic. Terrorism comes from the word to terrorize, trying to make you panic. Because once a person goes into panic-stricken state, and then they feel resentful, they feel jealous, which is a subconscious emotion that others should feel as miserable as I do, and therefore anxiety and panic is very, very detrimental to our whole system. And having been through that, through being bullied, as studies show, most people, or all people basically, have been bullied. But the question is, how do you overcome it? And hopefully the support system and the is there to overcome it. But some people don't overcome it, and if they don't overcome it, they are those are the guys that are the shooters. Those are the guys that shoot up a school, because they have in them this fundamental um, jealousy of normal people or of calm people. It's a very big subject. I don't want to go into it, but it's really the root of terrorism, of bullying, of anti-Semitism. Um, and so finally, there's a center. And the center is not when we're run by emotions, because naive love, I just saw the other day this cutest little girl, and everybody she sees, she runs, she hugs them. So it's very, very sweet. But at the end of the day, it's not obviously that realistic in life. On the flip side, somebody who's angry and whoever he sees, he wants to punch them, blah, blah, blah. That's also not realistic. Like King David said, Ani amarti b'chavzi kol adam kaizev. I said in my haste, or I said in my pain, in my resentment, all people are crooks. And you find this in societies where it's tough, whether maybe it's Russia, certainly the Arab culture, where really there's a lot of conniving. So people become very defensive. They can't trust people for good reason, actually. And it becomes it becomes like a dog-eat-dog world. Finally, the goal of life is that the mind, hopefully there's the security, because we can't do it without security, but hopefully you go through the first stage, you know what love is, you know what falsehood is, but you overcome it, and it becomes a memory. It doesn't become a emotional. See, once the emotions are strong, they control us. But if the emotion is a memory, you're aware of it, then you can control it.